I know, but it's very strong. And then I have a folder. And then, do I have to mute something?
You're good.
I'm good here.
Minimize that whole, yeah. No. Okay, got it. Click got it.
Got it.
Now view. And you can see there's the people
That's Jeff Barker.
I heard my name.
Yeah, I'm talking. This is Robin. So we are already live streaming because it's easier to get it going than to try to like start it, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
And because I am technologically challenged sometimes. So, okay. Hi, Zach and Lynn.
Hello.
Hi. I don't know if you heard me. We're already live streaming because it's just easier that way. So just, okay. Let me let them in. All right, we got 1 minute. Sometimes I have to remind Hanif though, text message. Because I don't want my picture. I know. Okay, I don't know who this person is. I'm gonna let him in. Video number. Who's on the 7297885?
Barry Kerrigan.
Oh, hi Barry. I gotta write down your number because I did that twice now.
No problem.
Oh, there's Lydia. Oh, and there's Honey. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. My Peter Hen. Honey. Hey, Honey.
Hello.
So you have a quorum. We're missing Peter Hen, but you do have a quorum if you want to get started. And I have Shauna in the waiting room still.
Okay.
I can let her in whenever you're ready.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
So we do have a quorum.
You do.
So I want to call this meeting to order and let us approve the last executive committee meetings. Need a motion?
I'll move it.
We can get a second?
Jeff will second.
Jeff will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. What we have before us is a proposal. Hold on 1 minute. I got it sort of pulled up here. This is Monroe 2 Bolsey Center for Workforce Development. And the contact is Shauna Kurtz.
Mm-hmm.
And this is for CDL license. Now, we've done this before, but
Let me let her in.
yeah,
And Peter just joined too.
okay. Shauna, are you with us?
Hi, I'm here.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
You've got a request for funding for $60,000 for CDL.
Yes,
Could you tell us a little bit about your program?
sure. All right, so our program, we've gotten scholarship money in the past for this program. It happens in the evenings, about 3 times a year. And there's about 11 weeks to the program. And recently, there's been some changes to the program. So in the past, there was what's called an entry-level driver training program. And it's not been something that's been required of people to get their CDL license. But in February of 2022, now an entry-level driver training program is a requirement. So because of that, we've had to make some changes in our program. Part of that is the Federal Motor Carriers Association has a prescriptive content that students have to go through. And so we're looking at getting that and adding that to this program through it's like an online course, and it costs like $150 extra to add that onto this course. So it's similar to the CDL program that we've always offered, which is in the evenings, 11 weeks. But now with the addition of this entry-level driver training program, we are adding pieces to the program. So if you want, I can kind of tell you what that is going to look like.
Please.
Okay. So there is a period of time for CDL where someone has to get their permit, and they have to take a permit test. The permit test is not easy, but the content of the permit test is essentially the same content that's required of this entry-level driver training program. So our plan is to use this online portion of the class to help prepare them. If you think about it like a phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Phase 1 would be getting the permit. So part of the course and part of what these scholarships would help pay for is this online component of permit testing, so that we can have more success in getting the permit. Then if you get the permit and you pass that permit test, you can go on to phase 2 of the class. And phase 2 of the class will be where we give like hands-on practice. We take them for driver, they get driving time, they get to go around the bus, do their pre-check. So it's basically prepping them for the test, the actual road test. So that's phase 2. And then phase 3 of the program is when they actually take the road test. So there's prep to get the road test. We actually have to take, it's very costly. This program is very costly because we have to have an instructor drive the bus to each person's road test. They have to be with the person as they're taking their road test. And then we have to take the bus back to, wherever it is. So it's a very costly program to run because of that, because it's very like individual. We also have transportation costs that, we have to pay for a bus right now. We have to lease a bus because we don't own our own bus, which we're looking into purchasing our own bus. We really would like to have our own bus for this, for training reasons, but we currently do not have our own bus. So, we have to pay for that.
So the main difference in this program than what we had in the past is the permit process, right?
Yes. It's including the online component into this so that they have all the content that they need to pass the permit test. But that's
So-
also a requirement of the entry-level driver training program.
So for each individual, what is the total cost?
It's $2,200.
$2,200?
2250, I think is what
2250.
we have in.
Do they pay anything?
They're going to pay $250. So what
Okay.
we're proposing is that, that they pay some of it, they pay a little bit of it, and that the scholarship would be available for $2,000 for each person.
Okay, the scholarship is 2,000. So if you don't pass the written test, the permit test, what
Mhm.
happens there?
So you wouldn't be able to go on to the next phase, but as soon as you do pass the permit test, you could go on to the next phase.
So if let's just say that they don't do that, what portion of the $2,000 is expended for like the permit? I mean, do we lose the whole $2,000 if they don't pass the permit test?
Yeah, so that's a really good point. I have not broken it down like that, but I can break that down like that. So that is something, I was looking at it in its entirety. But if you're right, if they never pass the permit portion of that, that probably needs to be calculated in there somehow.
I had to take the permit test 3 times for my
Yeah.
driver's license.
Well,
So
and this is,
I can imagine a permit test for CDL is that if you get wiped out,
yeah,
do we lose the $2,000?
yeah,
per-
no, we would just offer the scholarship to someone else. We would just, we wouldn't lose the $2,000. We would just offer it to someone else.
So I want to ask this then, so it doesn't cost anything for the permit. It's just a requirement that you have to have in order to get the CDL.
Yeah, so that's the part that I'm saying we probably need to break that part out separately, that, you're bringing that up and I hadn't thought about that. So I need to probably break that part, like how much does phase 1 cost? Which I had not broken out in this. So I probably need to figure out that portion, because that is a good question. If they don't go beyond, that next phase.
Do we have any other questions for Shauna?
So I have one, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
So you're leasing a bus. Who are you leasing a bus from?
Right now we're paying Brockport Central.
Okay. And are the instructors from Brockport, who is the instructor, a BOCES employee?
Yeah, we pay for the instructor.
Okay.
Are they the 2 gentlemen that you had in the past?
We have one person.
Okay,
So, yeah. And he is the same person,
okay,
Edward Moody.
okay, he does a good
And-
job.
Yeah, we actually just hired another person because we've had a lot of requests for this program. I mean, it's a really good thing, but we've had, many people requesting this. We actually have a waiting list right now for summer. So with this, I mean, I haven't completely opened this up yet because I've been waiting on, this process. But we actually have, people who are, because we have the application out there. So we actually have, it full with a waiting list right now for summer.
Shauna, one more question. Can you just describe with the CDL license, what vehicles are you able to drive when you get this?
Yeah, so right now we're training only on a school bus because that's what we have available to us. So most of the people going through this, will be trained. They'll drive school bus. Some of them will drive a box truck. So that's another, piece of this. We do not have a box truck that we're training on right now. But with a CDL-B, you can drive a box truck. We are not doing anything with construction vehicles right now. So with this, it's primarily a school bus. But right now we do not have, construction vehicle available either. In the future, I could see us expanding and doing something construction related, specifically for construction vehicles. But right now, we're focusing on school bus.
And in your proposal, you had in there that one of the three things that we can measure as an outcome is that employment.
Yep.
Can you speak to that, please?
Yeah, so our students are being offered positions even before they're done with the class. Many of our students like need the CDL class B as a contingency of like keeping their employment. So, you know, but many of our students are already working in the field for different employers. And so they're in this class so that they can either keep their employment or so that they can get employment, but they're being offered positions even before they're finishing the class.
Any other questions, Shauna?
And the positions are not just from schools, like to drive the bus, right? They're for any.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them are box truck.
Okay.
We do have, you know, we had one student from the past cohort who is working for the town and is driving construction vehicles. So we worked with the employer because we don't have a construction vehicle available for him. He did a lot of his training hours with the employer. So we had a partnership like that. And he needed a manual transmission. Manual transmissions just are not as common anymore. So really there's not even manual transmissions available, but to rent and to use for instructional reasons. But some employers still have manual construction vehicles. So like his, for example, you know, that's one of those areas that construction vehicles is just a different, it's a different area. So if we do get a student like that, you know, we're working with the employer so that the employer can partner with us and kind of get them some of the practice that they need to be successful.
I wanted to bring Peter in for a minute because when we did this program before, he came out and monitored that for the corporation. And I think Peter was so impressed that he was thinking about signing up for this program himself. But Peter, are you there?
I am, Hanif.
As you recall the importance of the program, what was your impressions of you know, of our funding for it and the importance of the program?
You know, we were both out there for that, and you know, it may seem like to some people on this call the nominal amount. It may appear it's a nominal amount that the candidates are contributing, but I cannot express how much pride they felt at their graduation because they had contributed something for it and then went and worked to build on the investment they made in themselves. So I know the job market is readily available for qualified folks. So I think it's a great use of our funds. I don't know how what our funding's been, you know, last couple of years with this pandemic. Some of these programs are kind of up, they're down there. They disappeared, but they're back now, and the need for these employees has not diminished at all. May have actually increased. So great way for us to invest in our community and directly impact these folks' ability to gain employment.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. I mean, honestly, I really think that this isn't even going to be enough. I mean, this is for 30 people to get scholarships, and in the past cohorts, we've been able to give everybody a scholarship. I just see this growing so much. Like I said, you know, even our summer cohort, we have more people that want to take this than we have spots for, that we have room for. So it's just really, you know, we're getting more and more requests from districts to do some, because of this entry-level driver training program. you know, some of these districts cannot, you know, they have to figure out how to offer this entry-level driver training program in the district. So a lot of people are asking us, like right now, you know, Eddie Moody, who's our CDL person, our instructor, is working with Brockport Central, and he's an instructor assisting Brockport Central with this. So, you know, we've had lots of requests. The other thing is that there was a program, Genesee Valley BOCES was offering a program for CDL Class B. They're not anymore. They're only going to do CDL Class A. So the instructor that I just recently hired is from, you know, that area actually, because there's no CDL Class B down at Genesee Valley BOCES right now. So right now we're at so there's a lot of potential for CDL right now.
Are there any more questions for Shauna? The prior program, it was $1,850 per person.
Yep.
I think we
$1,850.
contributed $1,500 and they paid something like $350.
$350. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
I guess my only concern is, once again, if if the whole process and the requirement is to get a permit, folks don't get that permit, does that wipe out the grant?
Yeah. So how would you like me to? I just have to think about that a little bit. I think I may have to break down the 2250 and look specifically at how much we're investing in the permit portion of that. And I'm thinking just off the top of my head that I might just deduct that from the 2,000. Or maybe that becomes their 250. Maybe that's how I do it. That part becomes the 250, and then the 2,000 goes back into you know, the funding to offer to someone else that doesn't go
Well-
beyond the permit.
Well, that is interesting. I think
Yeah.
the portion that they pay should cover the permit. And
Yeah.
after you get the permit, you're qualified for the $2,000.
Yeah, I think that because that would cover the cost of the course too. The course is $150 that they take with the permit. So that would cover that piece, the 250.
So what we're gonna need is for you to how do we do this here? Do we put an addendum to the proposal that we have to straighten that out?
Yeah, if you're okay, honey, if I can work with Shauna after this committee meeting and we can put something together to send out, we can either send it to this committee first or include it in the whole board packet, and she'll be able to address it on Wednesday at the board meeting.
I just want to know how to propose.
Yeah, oh, what you're saying, yeah,
Yeah,
what your motion is right now. So I guess
yeah.
Barry, correct me if I'm wrong, your motion would be to recommend that the full board approve this pending.
Is Barry here?
He is.
I
Oh.
I am.
Barry, give us the wording for this then, please. You
Sure.
got me
It'd be a
working overtime here.
It'd be a resolution to, approve, recommend approval, or sorry, sending this to the full board for approval, as amended. Is basically what the resolution would be. And the concept there is that if someone does not pass the test for their permit, their initial 250 contribution would be used and the grant would roll forward to the next candidate.
Yep. Would you like me to just put that to update the application?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I think that would be the best, so that then when it goes to the full board, we could recommend that and show them that is the plan going forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I apologize for not thinking about that ahead of time, but I'm really glad that you brought that up because that's a really good point that I hadn't thought of.
It's only because I failed my permit 3 or 4 times
Yeah,
before I got
no,
my license.
I appreciate that.
That's the only reason it came up,
Mhm.
Outside of that, we would have been, but let's
Yeah, and
just
this
say,
is new to us. This portion is new to us.
yeah.
So, we haven't lived it yet. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when you live it, that's when but I appreciate that feedback because that
Yeah,
is,
before you just could go and get your CDL license based upon that you had a license, but now there's a requirement that you have to have a permit in order to
well,
get a CDL.
yeah, and this is something that we've improved from previous versions because we did have students who were in our past cohort who did not have a permit until halfway through the cohort, and that's problematic. So that, if you don't have a permit when you start the driving time pieces, then you can't drive. So it's an improvement that we've made to our course for them to, pass the permit test first. It makes a lot of sense. You have to have your permit before you can do the driving time pieces.
Okay, so let's see what the wording to this motion is once again. Could you tell it to us again, Barry, so I could just move it?
Sure. It's a resolution to recommend to the full board the passage of this grant as amended by this discussion.
Okay, so I need a motion to accept.
I need, if I'll make a motion, it's Peter.
We need a second.
I'll second.
All
Lynn will
right,
second.
we got a second, Lynn. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. Now, it really wasn't good for us to do this in front of you, Shauna. We should have just dismissed you, but we wanted you to hear the good news. We were very confident.
Good. Thank you.
Just based upon the program and the success that we've had with it. Most of our board members are very pleased with this here. And once again, we know that this would help the economy and help the workforce. So we're excited to partner with you in doing this.
Thank you. I appreciate your support with this.
Get that permit thing straightened out.
All right, I will. I will
All
send
right.
it. Robin, you want me to, I'll send it back to you?
Yeah,
I'll
let's
change-
follow up after this.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you all.
All right.
Do we have anything else?
Bye-bye.
For Wednesday, I just think one thing that we need to, what did we budget for this program and what's the difference? That would be the only thing I think we should have that prepared in case anybody asks.
I believe we budgeted for more than what the request is. Robin, maybe
That's great
flesh
news.
that out.
Yeah, we had budgeted for 4 cohorts and they're only proposing 3 right now, just due to the timing.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think I don't know what we budgeted before, but it was, I think, 2 cohorts or something like that we did for, was it 20,000 a piece or something like that? I can't remember, but
Yeah, it's evolved. We started with 1 as like a pilot and like
Right.
back in 19, and then it was so good we did a second one that year, and then the next year like
Mhm.
COVID hit, but then we it's just, yeah, all the words there.
yeah. So this is for $60,000, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So is there anything else that we need to discuss or go over? I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Jeff.
All right.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll see you Wednesday. Is this Wednesday, right?
Yeah, this Wednesday at Zoom.
Okay. I'm planning to be here.
It's
Are we still doing?
gonna be awful
are we-
nice. Hanif, it's
Hey.
gonna be awful nice out. I don't know.
I don't know. Are we still planning to do this by Zoom? This is not live, right?
This
We
will
can
still be Zoom. The governor
Oh.
extended it to May 16th, and then we're waiting to hear what she does after that.
Oh, okay, all right. See you all Wednesday then, okay?
Thanks.